What is up, guys? Happy New Year's Eve, and maybe you're watching this in the new year, 2021. So I want to talk about HEX. About a year ago, everybody was asking me what I thought about HEX, and obviously the situation has changed. You know, during that first year, you could claim HEX for, you know, your Bitcoins and get HEX, and I tried to do that, and there was some kind of issue with the front end to where it wouldn't actually work in the Brave browser, and I was just, you know, I just thought the thing didn't work. But I guess if I would have done it in Chrome, maybe it would have worked, and I got busy and I never claimed it. And then when the price was real low, I didn't, you know, the price out on the open market was super low, so I didn't make it like a point to do it, because I'm just like, you know, it's not worth anything. There's hardly any liquidity. It's going to be lucky to survive, so on and so forth. So obviously things have changed with HEX now that they've kind of went through that whole period. Now it's just like, okay, you got this HEX, people are staking their HEX. So the whole situation with it's different. I kind of look at it as almost like a different project than it was. You know, it's on several exchanges, no super big names, but it is on HotBit, HitBTC, and a few others. So, and then a lot of people are going through Uniswap to get it. That's kind of the main way people are, you know, getting their HEX and then going ahead and interacting with the contract and staking it. So here's kind of what I see for HEX. Every bull market, there's always some kind of project that is super confusing and purports to have good returns. And whether that be, you know, let's say in the last bull market, there was obviously like these centralized Ponzi's / pyramid schemes like BitConnect. They were completely fraudulent. But then as time went on, you had like proof of weak hands, and you had some of these that were like fraudulent, but they were smart contract. Now, I don't consider HEX like fraudulent or anything like that. I think people are going to get what is, you know, reported to them. They're going to get the 40% return. They're going to get that. But it is obviously super confusing for people. And that was one of the reasons why I'm surprised it's made it as far as it has, as far as people are still, you know, promoting it, people are still pumping it. And maybe that's because at this point they're invested in it pretty deeply. And the best thing for them to do is go ahead and, you know, keep pushing it, so that their stuff is worth something when, you know, there's the amount of time that they stake for is over. Like if that's a year or that's 2 years, people talking about staking for like 10 years, 15 years. It's like, I mean, get out of here with that. I just don't see it surviving that long. I think that this thing's going to be like a 1 or 2 year thing. People are going to catch some rides, and then they're going to, you know, go into other stuff that's a little bit more sort of established. They're going to go back to ETH. They're going to go to Litecoin. They're going to go to Bitcoin. You know, maybe they jump on some new train or something like that. So I only see this thing lasting a few years. So I don't recommend, if people were going to get in it, I wouldn't recommend them getting in it and staking for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Man, it just seems silly to me. So, and then somebody's going to say, well, you don't understand it. You don't understand the T shares. You don't understand this and that. I don't need to. It's just, I've seen projects come and go. I've seen projects be as high as number 6 on CoinMarketCap and fall all the way to where they're, you know, the 1500th project on CoinMarketCap. Look into Quark. Quark boomed in 2013. It was literally number 6 on CoinMarketCap. I saw people put $60,000 into that. And, you know, so that's always going to happen. There's going to be projects that are going to survive. There's going to be projects that are going to die. And that's just the reality of it. And even good projects are going to die. Look at Tezos, sister chain of EOS. You know, it looks like that, you know, Tezos is not doing good. You know, it's just been constant selling. And I don't know when it's going to end. So But anyway, I mean, I converted my Telos to EOS, but EOS isn't moving. It's kind of dead on the launch pad, and there's, other things for that. So back to Hex. So Richard Hart he is extremely smart, and he's been around the crypto space longer than I have. I've been around since 2013, and so a lot of the things that he talks about, he cites stuff from 2013, 2014, and it's pretty much spot on, and it's the same account that I had. It's the same realizations I made. It's the same account. He's very smart. He's very quick-witted, and he thought about this a lot with Hex, obviously, and he thought about every psychological trick in the book that gets people to buy into crypto. One of the biggest things I hate about crypto is that it's like, can we get like a real project that has like actual utility to it, that isn't about just getting a coin to earn more coins? If you look at so many projects, it's like, oh, well, now there's these staking rewards. Look at Ethereum. Obviously it's been a big, that's been a good selling piece. Like, okay, the beacon chain's coming out. Now you're going to be able to stake. You're going to be able to stake the Ethereum and earn more Ethereum. And so a lot of times I feel like the whole space is just that. It's get this coin to earn more of that same coin. But human psychology a lot of times doesn't change. The same tricks will work over and over and over again. So of course, when I look at that, it's like, well, I think people are going to chase this or that coin because it has high staking rewards. At this point, I look at Hex as something like Polkadot, or something like, the Ethereum beacon chain, or something like Zilliqa. I just consider it that on a very strong energy drink. And I think that not having its own chain and riding on Ethereum is both an advantage and a disadvantage. You have a large liquidity pool, obviously, with Ethereum, and been able to, go over to, basically be able to go into it from Ethereum and go through something like Uniswap or 1inch or one of these kind of platforms like that, or getting on a centralized exchange. Now, the thing that I've noticed about Hex is there's not a lot of liquidity on the centralized exchanges, and so therefore there's an opportunity with that. There's not a lot of liquidity in general, because usually when people buy Hex, they stake Hex, and they stake it for a very long time. So a lot of it's locked up, and I don't know what exact percentage, but therein lies an opportunity. And one of the things that I was doing was basically realizing how impatient people are, and especially someone who's newer to crypto, and maybe they got into Hex and they think, this is going to be the next thing that people are going to catch a ride on and stuff, and it's cheap, so to speak. So they get on something like HotBit, for instance, and you can't do a market order on HotBit because the liquidity is too low. So they took that button away for certain coins. You can only do a limit order. And I think what happens is people get impatient. They might put a limit order out there and they're like, come on. And this has happened to me so many times. You're like, come on, I don't have time for this. And, you want it done right then. And, let's say there is some order on the books that is lower, that has quite a few coins. You might just go ahead, and they might think, well, I'm going to earn 40% return on this, so it doesn't even matter anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So they just go ahead and do it, even though you're maybe even a couple percentage points, maybe even more, below kind of the rest of the market. So they might buy your stuff, and then same thing on the sell side. The order book's thin. You put up some orders up there that are way above it, kind of thing, and you can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that is one thing that I've noticed with Hex. As far as staking it and stuff like that, I mean, if I ended up with a bunch, if I would have caught more of a ride, I mean, I make some money on it. Like I said, I was a Hexian for a day, just playing this game and stuff. I didn't stake any or anything like that. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to catch some eyes. It's going up. It's catching some eyes. Obviously, Richard Hart has a big following. He's had a lot of people with really big followings or even bigger followings out on his YouTube channel. So the more times he does kind of these live streams and he gets on there and answers people's questions, over time, that's going to be, that's going to bid well for it. More and more people are going to be privy to it and be looking at it. Now, one disadvantage I saw is that on CoinMarketCap, I look how many people are watching stuff on CoinMarketCap. I don't know if they did that through the app or what, but for Hex, there's not really that many. I mean, there's like whatever, a few thousand or something. But then you look at something like, Polkadot, or you look at some of these other stuff that's like way up there, and you're seeing tens of thousands of people looking at it or watching it, like on CoinMarketCap. And then let's say with Hex, I don't think that it's going to be able to ever get on some of the bigger exchanges, Kraken, Coinbase, some of that stuff. I just don't think that they'll touch it for several reasons. But because, you could say the way the thing started, because it wasn't just a pure airdrop for the Bitcoin that you had, that there was this, Ethereum address that you could send Ethereum to and get Hex back. I think that there would be question marks around kind of the start of it. So I don't think it would ever get listed on any major exchange and stuff like that. And I think that it's going to be this thing that everybody's going to have to perpetuate and almost like keep pitching it so that their stake, that, their year-long stake or whatever they did, that ends and they can't get out of it. At some point, you're going to have to get out of it and kind of reap the reward and go into something else or whatever. So anyway, that's my thought. That's my thoughts on kind of Hex. I think that, again, Richard Hart, he's a very smart guy. It's pretty funny to hear him sort of just like, tie people up in a verbal knot. And it kind of reminds me of Ben Shapiro. He is a smart guy. He's thought about every psychological trick. And think about the sort of how certain multi-level marketing companies like continue to perpetuate themselves through history. And you're thinking, why are people still getting into that? Whether it be Amway or Herbalife or whatever. If the compensation structure is like this complicated thing and you have people up there saying that they earned all this money, and so you have the testimonials, you have all these things, again, it kind of plays into human psychology. And then there's more people come along, and it continues to go. I think we could be surprised by Hex. It was around 202 on CoinMarketCap. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up on the first page. By the end of all this, maybe that's 6 months, a year, or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if it would be on the first page of CoinMarketCap. So more and more people say, hey, it survived, it's perpetuated itself, and then they can't help but maybe like, jump on board. So anyway, that's my thoughts, guys. What do you guys think about Hex? Is anybody staking any Hex or playing around with that? Leave a comment below, subscribe, follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Steam at Hive. Where else am I? I don't know. Leo, DTube, everywhere. See you guys.